Tommy embodies what Beachbody is all about, and not only from a physical standpoint in terms of being able to kind of make a commitment and changing and transforming his life physically, but when you talk about our core purpose of helping people achieve their goals to live healthy, fulfilling lives, Tommy really has bought into that. And so when he has found success in what's working for him and for his team, rather than creating this little private place to share that information, Tommy's been willing to go out and teach cross-line coaches around the country, and to help coaches find success whether they're in his organization or not. And he's a caring guy. He's had a real impact on individuals, both financially and physically. I mean, there are emotional stories that we could share about people whose lives are very, very different because of Tommy Mygrant. What you hear today from Tommy works. You're going to have to make a decision. Am I going to be humble enough to give up some of my own creativity and to follow a system that's proven to work? Or is it more important for me to express myself and to do things my own way? Okay? You have to make that decision. I can tell you this much. In late December, I looked at the leaderboard and I saw Barbie Decker on that board again. And Barbie and I she's introduced me to this raw eating in Santa Monica. So only for Barbie, I'll go and have lunch at Raw, right? And she told me the last time we had talked that she was not planning to be among the top 10 elite. She wasn't going to go for it. And then I see her just going crazy in December, and I sent her an email and said, "What are you doing?" And she wrote back and said, "I can't tell you." And I said, "What do you mean you can't tell me?" She said, "I'll tell you after the first year because I'm going for it." And I said, "Okay." And I didn't think much about it. And then on Facebook on January 1st, I got a note from her, and all it said, I don't even know if it was Facebook or text, and all it said is, "Tommy Mygrant's 5-step process." And I called her and I said, "What? You're like this super experienced, great coach. You're doing Tommy's deal? You're copying Tommy Mygrant from Bellevue, Ohio?" And this is a PhD, Barbie Decker. I call her Dr. Decker, right? She had tremendous success. You can too. You're really fortunate to be able to be here today. And without any further ado, I want to turn the time over to my friend and your soon-to-be best friend, Tommy Mygrant.
I'm a hoser, Brett's not. So. DC, man, it's good to see you all, man. What a blessing for me to be here, and my wife Ashley. I want to introduce her real quick. Not only has this company blessed me in so many ways, but it also brought to me a brand new wife, which is why I was really excited at the rest stop to see that Virginia is for lovers. Which, yeah, that was seriously exciting. So I do want to share a little bit about myself because how many people don't know who I am, and it's okay. It's okay if you don't. Okay. So we do have some people that have absolutely no idea who I am. My name is Tommy Mygrant. Yeah. I'm a high school football coach. That's who I am in a small town, 9,000 people, northern Ohio, middle of nowhere. A town that I was born and raised in, that I love dearly, that I still haven't left. In fact, my wife left West Palm Beach to move to Bellevue, Ohio with me. That is love. That is love, and there's no doubt that my business started really getting good when you came into my life. That's the truth. That is seriously the truth. There's something that happens inside of you when you start getting yourself right, and you start getting your life right, and you start getting your priorities right, when everything else starts going the right way. Okay, so if things aren't going the right way, right? For 20 years of my life, things didn't go the right way. For 20 years of my life, I was morbidly obese. For 20 years of my life, I sat on a couch, absolutely depressed, disgusted with myself. For 20 years of my life, I sat there thinking, there's got to be something. I have to do something. But not knowing what that something was. And it wasn't until 4 years ago, in September of 2007, a little bit over 4 years ago, when my sister's husband, I've got one sister, she and I were raised by a single mother. Had an alcoholic father that had left our life when I was young. Didn't have a male role model in my life at all. Was physically, sexually, and mentally abused by a stepfather for 9 years, and left broke and homeless with my mom when I was 11 for 4 months. So that led me to abusive eating. I would numb my emotional pain through food, right? I would sit there and eat and eat and eat and eat until I was, some people numb it with alcohol. Some people numb it with drugs. Some people numb it with promiscuity. Some people numb it with food, right? Some people numb it by shutting themselves in a room in loneliness. So they force themselves to become lonely because they don't feel worthy, okay? It's, you know. Did I just describe a lot of that? Okay? But I would numb it with food. The anger and the hurt and the pain that was in my life that was brought to me by a neglectful childhood, I would numb that with food. And at age 11, I started eating and eating and eating and eating until I was physically in as much pain as I was emotionally. Okay? And made a promise to myself at age 11 that I would always protect my sister. Right? I would do whatever the hell it took to not let my sister ever be hurt again. And 4 years ago, my sister's husband was dying of kidney failure. And I went, and you know, this is my time to rise up. This is my time to prove that I'm a man of my word. I'm going to protect my sister. Right? And I go to the Ohio State Medical Clinic, and I go to fill out the paperwork. And all I know is this: I'm 273 pounds, my cholesterol's 240, my blood pressure's 155 over 90, and I'm too fat to get tested. So all this guilt rushed over me, right? We all have that moment. We have that moment when we got to get real about who we are and how we're living, true? We all have that moment. Great things happen when you get real and you start taking ownership of who you are. That made me do something absolutely crazy, which was called P90X. Because I don't even know how I got through that first round. All I know is I didn't care how bad it hurt, right? How many people can relate to that? You get to the point where you just don't care. You just don't care, right? How bad it hurts, you don't care what it takes. You don't care what needs to be done. It's not about your excuses anymore. It's now about the fact that you can't continue living the way that you were living. And so I had that moment 4 years ago. Thankfully, there were people of this world that had the audacity to put a program out there that actually worked, right? The number of lives that have changed out of that, the craziness that's happened in my life, right? There's this thing called the law of territory, right? If you can be trusted with the little things, you'll be made ruler over much. If you can be trusted with what's given to you, and all of us are given what? A life. All of us are given ourselves. And you can't change everything else around you. The only thing you can change is how you think and how you live and what you do, and get out of your own way, because it's the excuses. There's a lot of people in this room who have thought about doing great things. When it came to the coaching, I didn't even want to sign up when I signed up to be a coach, right? I was still 230 pounds. I had just finished my first round. I was a high school football coach, running an insurance agency, president of my local Rotary Club. I didn't have time because I was still playing poker 4 nights a week with my buddies, right? And, I mean, that's what we lived for, small hometown. You know, Friday night lights and poker night with the guys. Let's head up to the Eagles for a few beers. Let's go get some wings at Frickers, right? Love them Frickers. And see, here's the thing. The blessing that we've been given through this company is two-sided, isn't it? I have the benefit of understanding both physical struggle and financial struggle. Lived a life of debt, maxed out credit cards, didn't know which card to whip out. In fact, I wasn't even sure that the $39.95 would go through when I signed up. Right? I'm like, oh Lord, please let this, I don't want to be embarrassed by this getting declined. Right? And that's how I lived. Right? Maxed out credit cards, gambling my life away, scratching lottery tickets, praying to win 50 bucks. You know? You want to talk about an opportunity that's in front of all of you. And here's the thing, see, this is what you guys don't realize. I'm standing here today, I'm talking to you, what is there, a couple hundred people? I'm not talking to 200 people. I'm talking to the 20,000 people that you know that I don't. There's 20,000 lives attached to this group that need to be touched, that need to be changed. There's 20,000 lives that need to hear the opportunity. And who are we to keep their destiny in our mouth? Who are we not to make a list and introduce what it is that we do and what we're about? Listen, we have the blessing of Dr. Wheeler, right? And all of the years of expertise, all of the years of study that he's done. Everybody understand that? But where we screw it up in the field is we go out there in the real world and try to be him. We try to be an expert at all the stuff on there. Do you know what? The notes that I took weren't on what's in it. The notes were the stories and the results that people got, because those are the arsenal that we need to be sharing with people. It's the stories are the ammunition. Right? Everybody follow that. So here's what I know. I made a choice. I signed up as a coach in April of 2008. Had no idea what I was doing. I was good enough. Look, man, I'm an outgoing guy, right? I was the fun fat guy. And then I got to be the quiet fit guy. And I lost myself for a while because of all the social judgment that came after change. Oh, I see how it's going. Right? You know, and listen, that's why it takes an army. That's why it takes a group. That's why it takes a network. That's why the support piece of fitness plus nutrition plus support is the biggest piece. It's the same reason why alcoholics have AA. It's the same reason, you know, why anybody has a support group, right? Same reason why churches have groups, if you're spiritual, okay, that you can gather with, right? So we get together in groups like this to gather so we can rebuild our energy, we can rebuild our desire, we can rebuild our faith, that we can rebuild our purpose, and go out there better equipped to serve the world. Right? Here's the thing, it's the company's job. Well, there's two separate jobs, and this is what we have to clearly identify is this. There's two separate jobs. The company has a job. Their job is to produce the products that work. And we are blessed to be attached to a company that does that with integrity, that does that with expertise, that does that in the most professional way that any company that is in this country ever does. Right? That is a blessing. That is not our job, though. Our job isn't to be the product experts. Our job isn't to understand everything that Shakeology does, everything that Ultimate Reset's going to do. Our job is to understand people, right? We are in a business of people. You guys understand that? It's a business of people, right? So whether you want to serve people, whether you want to help people, okay, if we're not good with people, see, what we need to get expert at is people, not at products. We need to be experts at stories. We need to be experts at developing the skill of how to effectively communicate with people in order to do the job we need to do to play our role in the mission to end the trend. And that mission is twofold. It's health and wealth. We've been programmed the wrong way in this country for a long time on both sides of that fence. On both sides of that fence. We've been made to believe that, you know, that it's okay to be big. We've been made to believe it's also okay to be broke. You turn 18 years old and the first thing you get is an application for what? A credit card. So one of the things that we as an army need to get through our head is this. The income opportunity is also a core product. How many mothers do you know that, listen, here's what I know. If my mom would have made an extra $500 a week, I wouldn't have had to say free lunch embarrassed when I was 10. And it was that crap that led me to eating. So if you're not helping people dig out of that hole as well, then you're not doing the full spectrum of things. We got to open up the tent a little bit, man. And the only way we do that is if we take the time to truly get to know people's problems, right? If we take the time to truly ask questions and shut up and listen and be a friend and start to diagnose before we prescribe. It's by far the biggest issue that we have as a network when I talk to people is this. We go out there and we start product vomiting all over everybody, right? Because we start regurgitating everything about Shakeology, everything about P90X, everything, right? You give them a 45-minute dissertation on how many push-ups you can do after 6 months. Right? When really what we need to do is just pull back a little bit. So when I was talking to my team, because here's the thing. 2 years ago I made the top 10 out of 60,000 people. right? I don't know, there was 50,000 people that year. I was 8th. Doing it completely the wrong way, only focused on me and my production and how many points I had, right? Neglecting my relationship with Ashley, which absolutely had destroyed it for several months after, because I was doing things in the wrong way. Burnt out. You know, sitting in Facebook 10 hours a day, doing stuff I didn't need to be doing. How many people, now let's get real. How many people? Raise your hand. Got a Facebook problem. Hi, I'm Tommy. I'm a Beachbody coach with a Facebook problem. Right? See, the same way that we have to give ourselves boundaries and limitations and rules with fitness and health and eating, it's the same thing with the business. It's the same thing with the coaching. There has to be limitations, boundaries, rules, and plans. You have to have a nutritional plan, a game plan when it comes to working out, don't you? So we have a company that gives you that plan. You know, it's called P90X. You buy it, it comes in a box. All you gotta do is, it's fitness for dummies. Put it in, hit play, do whatever it says, right? You don't have to think about it. You don't have to be the expert at it. You don't have to design it. All you gotta do is trust it. All you have to do is trust it, right? True? You put it in, you hit play. It works. You got to do some of the work behind it. It's the same thing with eating. It's the same thing with money. If you don't have a plan for your money, then guess what? Your money's got a plan for you, and it's to be broke or dead by age 65. Right? And so everything has to have a plan. This is something that I didn't have the first 3 years that I did this. I didn't have a plan, and because I didn't have a plan, even though my intention was to help as many people as I could, right? Even though my intention was to bring all of these people who were in struggle into light. All the people who were living in darkness, living in depression, living in obesity, living in confusion, living in lethargy, right? To bring those people out of that struggle into light. But the thing was this, I didn't have a plan. My plan was just to do it all myself. And because I wanted to do it all myself, because you know, it feels good, doesn't it? It feels good when someone comes and says, I can't thank you enough, you've changed my life. Listen, I'm sitting in the front and I was thinking about Patty, stand up. Seriously, stand up. But listen, I sitting up here and I started thinking about Patty, I started crying. Right? Because 2 years ago, how long ago? January 4th, 2010, for some odd reason, for whatever reason I don't even know, I end up on a QVC show with Tony. Right? And you saw me on that show, right? And you made a choice that day. And you know what? And you had lost 60 pounds, and then you gained 10 pounds, but you know what? You're still here. You're still here. And if it weren't for a network of people that loved you and cared for you, then you might not be. Right? And so it's people like you that deserve the credit. It's people like you who were willing to stand up and say, now is my time. Okay? And the thing is this, there's thousands of Patties running around this place, right? So thank you, Patty. Right? You know, I mean, I meet Cameron, and I'm completely blown away. I'm blown away by the testimonials, and I'm sorry I forget your name, but Ann, right? And Ann gets up here and starts talking about her vision and the struggles that she had and the pain she was going through. And we have something to offer them. Who is it for us to be the person that screws that opportunity up for them? Because we didn't take the time to just learn a simple set of skills and get a simple systematic plan that actually works and that can actually help more people serve more lives. Does everybody understand that? See, here's the thing that most of us didn't know. I knew nothing about network marketing. I'm a high school football coach. I never did network marketing. Come on. You know? I'm like, oh, that's cool. I made 30 bucks. Oh, that's cool. I made $100. Right? I didn't know network marketing, man. I was just out there winging it. Right? How many people are winging it? A lot of hands. There's a lot of hands. So when I decided to get serious about it, I decided to say, listen, I'm not in the nutrition business. We're in a network marketing business. If we're going to be in a network marketing business, then we better learn the business of network marketing, which happens to be a business of people and how you lead people. And there's something I understood about helping people go from A to B to C to D and along a path because I coach high school football. So all of a sudden, all these 14 years I spent with these kids made sense, right? So when I coach a football kid, right? You know, that's that freshman that shows up, that 15-year-old kid that's just eager and desire to impress and desire to be part of it, right? And has absolutely no muscle, and you got all these 17-year-olds that come in looking like Hulk Hogan because they've been around a while and they've been doing the work and they progressively have developed that, right? So what happens is this kid, you know, I can't teach him everything on day one, but what I can do is I can teach him the fundamentals and techniques and get him to take the right step. So for weeks and months in that first summer, all we do is take a step. That's it. I get them in their stance and we step. I teach them the 4 basic steps that they're going to have to know to do their job. And then it hit me. Why don't we do that with a coach? When a coach signs up, they're brand new. Why are we trying to teach them everything about everything? You know, I get new coaches say, I want to be a 10-star. Holy crap, how am I going to teach you that? You don't even know how to be emerald yet. Right? And it started hitting me that one of the reasons we struggle is because we fail to have these short-term goals to just get started. And we fail to start people in the right way. Write this down. 80% of this business is what you do with new people in their first 30 days. And it's up to you to handle that with care and to give them short-term guidance and goals. Short-term. They can't think longer than 30 days. They can say that they're going to be around a year, but I'm going to tell you right now, if they don't go out and see a result in that first 30 days, listen, if somebody went and pushed play on P90X and for 30 days they went through the pain and the agony of doing it and they didn't lose a single pound, yet they're 100 pounds overweight, would they keep showing up? It's the result that brings them back. It's the result that gets them to come back. So we have to think the same way with coaches. We have to think about the result we're helping them get in that first 30 days, right? And so by far, when I sponsored coaches, or I started talking, because again, last year I made a choice. This isn't all about me. I got this whole team of people and they want to succeed. Yet here I am, 10-star, and there's no star diamonds other than me. Oh my gosh, I've been failing these people that I've made this promise to because I failed. Right? I've failed more people in this business than I even want to admit. I have screwed up more sponsorships. I have failed more people. I have not returned more calls because we get overwhelmed. And until I got a plan that actually worked, where I could look somebody in the eye, I could look Tina in the eye and say, listen, trust me on this, do this, and let's get you here. Okay? And I'm going to show you that plan today. It's up to you whether you want that or not. It's up to you, but listen, here's another thing I want you to write down is this. Options paralyze you. Options paralyze you. Okay? There's a lot of ways that you could run this business. There's a lot of ways that you could sponsor someone. There's a lot of ways that you can find people. There's a lot of products that you can lead people to. Okay? But options are paralyzing. And so what happens is there's so many ways we don't know which way to pick, so we're never focused on one thing, and we're like a dog running around chasing our tail, and it's never clear, concise, or consistent. And because it's not clear, concise, or consistent, you're not doing the same thing with each person all the way down the road so that they can take it and duplicate that. This is a business of duplication. It's a business of people. It's a business of exposure. We now have a simple thing to expose. It's called the challenge. Right? So now we don't have 100 things to invite people to. We have one. We've taken away the options, so it's become clearer. That's why the teams that are on board with inviting and creating challenge groups are blowing up, because it's alleviated all of the other junk and the noise and the confusion of options. Right? Think about this. When Steve Jobs and Apple came up with the I don't see this. I'm not a technology guy. I'm lucky that I can type.
The iPhone?
And I started doing that on a typewriter where it went ding, 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 ding. Man, that class was noisy in high school. I loved it. I used to I can still hear that teacher, A, space. Oh, Lord, I woke up with nightmares with that teacher. Heard the receipt. B, space, return. All right. Sorry. What's the thing that plays music? The iPod. Are you kidding me? So here's the thing. Think about this, right? When they came out with that, it wasn't the most complicated MP3 player. There were other MP3s that were before. There were other that had more buttons that could do more things. Yet they sold something that was simpler and had fewer options for more money. Right? Simpler and more options for more money. Because it simplified things, and then they took it and they made it cool. Because they put it in pink and blue and black and silver and all these cool colors, right? So they simplified the buttons and diversified the colors. And they made it cool, right? And now that you know, and then they came out with it again and again. Like, so you got the next one and the Nano and the, you know, whatever, the iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's like 4A or something. I don't even know. Because I use a BlackBerry, so I didn't buy into that junk. No, I'm just joking. But we got to think about this, right? What are we doing to our people? Are we clarifying in a clear, concise, and consistent way? So here's the thing. I want you to understand this. When you see the people that are, listen, I talked to Robert Hudgens, one of the $1 Million Earners, right? I hear Christine Dwyer, what she's doing with her boot camps, but it all comes down to one thing. You better have a system that you can simply teach the people that helps them see an immediate result in the first 30 days. If you don't have that down, then you don't know what you're doing. If you listen, what's that line? If you can't describe it as a system, then you don't know what you're doing. It's like the difference between rolling a basketball out on the floor and saying go for it with no game plan and no system and no practice, and an organized team that actually practices and has a game plan, right? So, I mean, imagine this. If you were you don't just send the military out there with no plan. They're trained to do their job. They're not worried about what all the generals are doing, right? They're worried about their job. And this is my job in this platoon. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is why we do it. Screw everything else. Screw everything else. So the important thing is this, that you make that choice. You have to decide for you and your team. First of all, are you part of a team that says this is who we are, this is what we do, this is why we do it? Once you draw the clear line and you don't make any apologies for that, and you make a clear, concise choice that this is what we're doing. On our team, this is that plan. This is who we are, this is what we do, this is why we do it. We build with challenge groups and the 5-step process, which you all have in your hands. Okay? We build with challenge groups and the 5-step process, and we give our new coaches a very clear, concise focus with simple goals for the first 30 days. Our job is very simple. One, your first job is this: to learn how to run a challenge group and use the 5 steps. Okay? Your second job then is, once you master that, which takes you all of the first month, some the first week, some the first 2 days, it's easy to learn, right? Then your second job is to learn how to duplicate that and teach one of your coaches how to do it. That's your second job. Now your third job is, once they know how to do it, to show them how to teach their person how to do it. Once you master those 3 things, I got to do it. Me. Then I got to show somebody how to do it, where to go, where to get the information. Okay? What their plan is, I got to be able to give them the same clear plan that was given to me so that they can go get an immediate result. Okay? Then the third thing is to have them show somebody else. And I got to tell you, this is not me. I am a fly by the seat of my pants guy. I'm the guy that, listen, for a year, I fought everything. I was doing it my own way. Screw that, I don't need to keep a list. I'm Tommy Mygrant. What the hell I need to keep a list for? And then I was sitting there scratching my head wondering why I was a diamond coach making a couple $100 a week. And yet all of my friends like Mike French and Aaron Mathis and all of these other people that had come in just maybe months before me were standing on stage at Summit, and I'm sitting there next to Josh Spencer wanting to vomit because we hadn't done what we said we would do, which was build this business and build a team and make this our full-time income. Because all I knew was I was miserable selling insurance, but I wasn't miserable enough to get out of my own way. Right? So all of us have a choice to make. You have a choice to make. I don't know where you're at in this journey. You could be a brand new coach, and if you are, I'm probably scaring you half to death, right? You could be a coach that's done this for a while. You could be and wanting to have success, just not figured out how to have success. You could be a coach that has been doing this for a while and has been successful to an extent, but knows there's something missing. There's something that I need to be doing, right? All of us are at a point where we've got something that's on our mind that we know we need to do, and the fact is this: once you just do it, things get better, right? Whatever that is. So for a long time, I was hearing like, well, you got to have a list. And I'm like, well, I'm smart, man. I was like, fourth in my class, I don't need to make like a written list. Like, I've got to memorize in my head, right? And then I was wondering why I wasn't making Success Club. This is the truth, okay? January and February of 2010, I didn't make Success Club. I didn't make Success Club. I didn't even know how to make Success Club. Right? And so, I didn't even think I could make it consistently for 9 months to get on show. I was like, oh my God, I can't even make it 1 month. How am I going to make it for 9 months? Right? How am I going to make it for 9 months? So then here's what happened. I woke up in March, and I thought, I don't have to make it for 9 months. I just got to make it for March. That's it. I've got one job, short-term goal, 30 days. What am I going to do? It's the same with the fitness. You don't lose 128 pounds in a week. What you do is you wake up and you pray for the friggin' strength to get through this week perfectly. Right? See, too many of us are looking at the whole pie. Non-fat, sugar-free. Okay, but we're thinking about the whole year. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And we don't worry about now, and all of a sudden now comes and goes, and before you know it, you didn't do anything. You didn't make any progress at anything. Get focused on now. Right? And we understand, listen, anybody who's achieved anything, you didn't graduate high school and kindergarten. Did you? You had to focus on what? On kindergarten. You had to tie your shoe and put the bricks up. Take that time by the cute girl. That's what I did. I was only 6, man. I knew what I was doing back then. Right? And then you got in the first grade, and what did you do? First grade. You know? You started learning what 5 plus 5 was. And if you were smart, you didn't say 9. Okay, and then second grade, third grade. But it was step by step by step, focused on the now, focused on the moment, focused on that year, focused on that season of your life. Not focused on everything, not getting overwhelmed by all the choices, not getting it's bringing it into focus and getting focused on this. And once we can understand that, then we're going to understand why this works. Because it's our job when we sponsor people, because they've been out there in the real world where it sucks and there's no focus to anything. That's why they've been running around ragged, broke, depressed, miserable at their job, and bad at relationships, and fat. Right? Because they haven't yet understand the concept of achievement and what it takes, because what it takes is this. It takes a focus on now. You can't do everything, but you can do something now. What is that something that needs to be done? When it comes to this business, that something has to be very clear, concise, and consistent. Get good. Don't get good at everything. Get good at one thing and master it. So that's what we've decided to do with our team, because we were focused on everything. I was doing home parties. We were doing, different, all these different calls. We didn't know what to focus on. Webinars, fit clubs, and I was getting burned out because I was trying to do everything. So bring it back into one thing. So here's the thing. We have to understand this. I want to show, because none most of us don't have an understanding of network marketing. What time is it? How much time do I got? It's 3:10, so okay, I'm good. What's that? A couple hours? Don't give me a couple hours, man. You guys will be here until Christmas. So, I can talk all day about this stuff. But listen, I want to at least give you an understanding of some of the basic fundamentals of network marketing, right? If we don't understand those basic steps of network marketing, then we're going to get overwhelmed by what it takes to build this as a business. So I don't know, maybe you don't want to build this as a business. Maybe you want to just have this be your hobby, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. If that's what you want in your life, is to have this as a hobby and make a hobby amount of money and make your couple $100 a month and break even and have a great social life with great people that love fitness and love each other and grow together and are positive, then that's perfectly fine. You can have it be that. But if you want it to be a business, then we need to treat it as a business and we need to understand it as a business. Everybody follow that? Heads? Yes? Wake up in the back row. The back row's even shaking heads. I love it. I love it. Okay, so here's the thing. Exposures. Your job in this business, here, you're one person. Every single person, I just put a 1 at the top. If you're in the back and you can't see it, it's a 1, like the number. Okay? Number 1. Every single person starts out as 1. Right? And we're singing songs. Singular sensation? All right. So, every single person starts out as 1. I started out as 1. You started out as 1. You started out as 1. Every single person. So listen, I don't care where you're placed. I have like maybe 5 total people on my team and in my organization that were ever placed into my business by anybody in my upline. So everything that we have earned from, and until you stop blaming everybody else for not doing your job for you, and take ownership of it, and take action of it, and own it, nothing else is going to happen. Quit playing the blame game. Too many of us are blaming. We're blaming the company for 14-minute wait times. That's not our job to control that. In fact, the wait times, when you call it, that's a blessing. That means we're growing and we're having growing pains, and that the network is actually doing good things. Everybody follow that? Okay? Quit trying to, the product launch wasn't per, who cares? That's not our job. That's Carl's job. That's Brett Blake's job. That's Dr. Wheeler's job. Right? Oh my gosh, the vegan Shakeology isn't as thick as the chocolate. Shut up and drink it! Your job's not to make it! Right? Our job is to understand this stuff and to understand people and to have a game plan when we go out there in the field. Okay, so everybody starts out as 1, and if we can show them how to turn 1 into 5, that's the first step, right? Because this all multiplies in 1. So on day 1, if you're just doing, the game plan is 2 exposures a day, right? Everybody understand that? What's an exposure? Who can tell? Well, in our team, it's an invite. Because we're always inviting to one thing, that's a challenge group, right? So it's, how many invites did you send today? How many invites did you send this week? So I'm gonna dummy it down, because 2 times 7 is 14, it's an odd number, and I am not that smart. Okay, so I'm just gonna say 10. Let's simplify this thing, right? Again, simple, keep it simple so we can understand it. So 10, let's say that I do 10 exposures this week, I do 10 invites this week. And I do that consistently for the first month. And over the course of that month, I do how many exposures? 40 in a month. That I'm personally responsible for. Okay, and let's say that I add 4 people to my team and 1 becomes 5. 1 coach becomes 5 coaches, 5 distributors. Here's what we have to understand. Okay, as a business, what we're doing is creating a distribution channel. And it's not your job to distribute everything. It's your job to help other people learn how to distribute. Okay, and identify what the majority of people want. The majority of people want this. Okay, they did a study. They actually did a questionnaire with 3,500 coaches. I'd say that's a pretty good, that's 5% of the network, right? So they took 5% of the network across the board, and they said, what's your average expectation, income-wise, from this business? And the average expectation was what? How much? What do you think? How many? $300 a month. Who said what? $50 a month. That's what it was. It was enough. If I could break even and make an extra $50 a month, I'd be happy.
Is that
Yeah, that's what that was their thing. If I could just pay for my product, that's the average expectation. So if that's what people want, then we got to simply show them a way to do that, right? And we're going to do that with this 5-step process. Okay? All right. But let's say that you have 40 invites and you've recruited some people and you show them how to do invites. Now you've got an army of 5 people that you teach to do 10 invites a week to build one group a month. Okay? And now there's 50 invites a week, which is 200 a month. Yet you're only doing 40. You're doing your part. You've got your oar in the water and you're rowing. And all of a sudden you've taught someone else how to grab the oar and row. Right? And those people, but here's the thing, see, here's what happens. People don't do it if they don't think they can, if they think it's too much, if there's not a clear-cut plan, if they have no idea where to go, where to start. Right? It's like, seriously, man, it's like the fat person that goes to the gym and is looking around going, oh, hell no, I can't do this. I don't even know what I'm doing, you know? So like when you've got bad eating habits, you've been ordering pizza every night and then running through 3 different fast food places so it's not the same one, so they don't recognize you the second time. Hey, I did that for a long time, right? I better go through Wendy's for dinner because I went through Taco Bell for lunch, right? Okay, but the thing is that, and you go to the grocery store for the first time and you don't have a clear plan on what to buy, and you're just like, and you keep it very simple and basic. Trust me, you buy like cans of tuna, and egg beater sounds like it might be healthy, right? Okay, and I don't know, wheat bread. But you keep it very simple, and it's over time, your knowledge expands and your abilities expand. So that's how it works, right? So in this business, if we can just show people how to invite and build a challenge group, then they can simply go out and do that. And now you've got 200 people a month hearing about Beachbody, yet you're only inviting your 10 a week, right? Does that make sense? And then 5 becomes 25. And you've got 25 people sending out 10, that's 250 invites a week, okay? I'm just gonna go down to a week. 250 people a week. You're telling 10. You've taught other people how to tell 10. Yet 250 people a week are hearing about Beachbody. All of those people are potentially getting healthy and potentially paying you, right? Okay, and then 25 becomes 125, and 10 people is 1,250. That's if you got 125 people doing the same thing 10 a week, right? Right? So you've got 125 stores out there. You've got 125 stores, right? How would you like to not have to sell everything out of one store? Because some of us are trying to do that. Some of us are trying to just go out there and be the only producer and not teach other people how to do it. And so you're not leveraging the efforts of the many. You guys understand that, right? And 125 becomes 625. It all multiplies in 5s, right? Imagine that. 625 people, that's times 10. What's 60? 6,250 people a week. Do you see how this grows? Right? And then you go to 3625, and I'm going to stop there, but that's 36,000 people a week. If you keep it simple and you ask people to do something that they can willingly do in an easy way that produces a result. You guys follow that? How many of you, here's what happens though. It takes a pretty good effort to get to this point where you're like at 125, right? I mean, some of you might have, thousands of people down one leg and like 2 on the other, right? And all of a sudden you're looking at your back office, there's like thousands of points on your left and like nothing on your right. It's like cricket, cricket, cricket. Well, guess what? You're responsible for your right. Everybody else helped you, did you a favor by that left side, okay? But most people, because of the struggle, they get to this 125 and they put forth a pretty good effort. I'm not going to lie, it takes an effort. It takes an understanding, and if you don't have that understanding, it's going to get frustrating and you're going to give up because you're not going to start seeing your income increase the way that you want it to. Right? If you're, and listen, there's nothing wrong with being in this for income. I got to tell you guys, after being broke and homeless at 11 and in debt my entire life, it feels pretty dang good to be paying off credit cards and automobiles and driving my Malibu and not paying the bank. And I'm not going to apologize for that. Listen, money is just as big a reason for divorce in this country as anything. And we have a solution for that, right? How many people you know that had to take a pay cut? Or I talked to one guy, he's like, I haven't had a pay raise in 6 years. Dave Rice, I see Dave Rice back here, right? He's an EMT, like firefighter, right? Paramedic, right? Serves the world, he does it for service, he does it for the adrenaline, because,
Moved up in
What?
administration. You know, the goal
Yeah.
is work hard to get promotion. What happens when you get to the top of the food chain? No more promotions, no more pay raises, no more overtime.
yeah, you know, and you're stuck and you're frozen, you're capped out. You're capped out. And that's the majority of us, right? That's the majority of people that actually go out there and work. So listen, you can start, if you just do something simple and you teach it to people and they can duplicate it, you can build an army of people. Here's what happens, that most people fail in this jump from 125 to 625. That's when most people take their foot off the gas, they get burned out, and they fail to keep pressing forward at the moment when it actually can start exploding. You got to understand something. I almost gave up in that window. I almost gave up, man. I had put like a year of, I had no idea what I was doing. And I was working my tail off, right? Wearing myself up, but it's because I didn't have a plan. And other people couldn't do what I do. Other people couldn't be in silver underwear on a join button. That didn't duplicate. Ask yourself, what duplicates? What does duplicate? Because listen, your personality does not duplicate. I could not duplicate the fact that I could go recruit a piece of tree. You can't duplicate that. Here's what duplicates: documents. Documents. Videos. Right? Duplicate. A system duplicates. So the way that I run my challenge group, I can have a video that shows that and demonstrates that I can give to my coaches so they can run their group the same exact way as me. If they choose not to, that's on them. Right? Everybody understand that? Okay, but I did it, and I almost gave up. I almost gave up in that window. I seriously was like, you gotta understand something. I was at the point my bank account was zero. My relationship with I was like breaking up with Ashley. I'm like, get out of here. I was like blaming everything around me because the money wasn't right, and I was frustrated, right? But my priorities weren't in line either. Okay? And so I almost broke up with her. Well, I did, actually. And then I begged her back, and I was fortunate enough and blessed enough that she forgave me, right? And now we're married. Because I learned the skill of bridging dissension. I learned the skill of how to go back to people that you had screwed things up with and taking ownership of it in a sincere, apologetic way. So some of you got prospects that you've screwed up. Some of you've got coaches that you've screwed up, and you need to go back to them, and you need to just humbly go back to them and say, listen, I screwed up, and I am so sorry, and I would hate for you to miss out on this opportunity because I had no idea what I was doing. My intentions were in the right place, but my methods were wrong. Okay? See, it's not only important to have the right intention, it's important to have the right method. We all have the same intention. We want to help people, right?
Yeah.
And we all have the same intention. We'd like to get paid a little bit of money for that, right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Uncle Carl is a good guy. That's why he's paying us. Okay? So here's the thing. So you guys understand this. Imagine if you had, listen, if what people want is to go make a couple $100 a month, and you can help a lot of people achieve that, right? And you can help them help other people make a couple $100 a month. How much are you making? A lot, right? Because you've got a lot of stores doing a simple job that they can afford to do time-wise, energy-wise. But if you're asking them to go out there, right, and be the master of all, and they get worn out, they're not going to be around long. Okay? Simple and systematic. So here's what we do with our new coaches. Everybody has the 5 steps, right? Okay. We also have to understand this, that when you look at the top tier of coach, when you look at the top 100 earners of coaches, okay, without fail, all of them have had some type of result with the products. That's what differentiates us from a lot of networks. A lot of networks in network marketing, you could go network coffee, and your result is you get a caffeine high maybe, right? But with there's something that happens, isn't there, when you actually use the stuff and you realize, oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing. That makes you willing and wanting to go share it with people, okay? So, That's why I'm focused on challenge groups. Now, there's going to be some leaders in the network that'll tell you they don't do challenge groups. And that's fine. That is their choice. That's where they're leading their team. I can only tell you what our team is doing. Does that make sense? And that it's working. And I've got some people here to share with you how that's working, okay? So our focus is very clear, concise, and consistent. We build with challenge groups. Starting one challenge group the first Monday of the month. I start my challenge groups the first Monday of the month. Now, I'm not going to sit here and train you on how I run my challenge groups. If you want to know how systematically we move people in and out of our challenge groups so that we don't have 18 different pages, because one of my biggest fears is this: I don't want 18 pages. Oh my gosh, I got enough on my plate, and I can't expect a mom of 5, Tina, to also run 13 different challenge group pages. That's not a system, that's chaos. That's how I look at it. Right? So if you want to know how I run them, you go here, YouTube. Write this down, youtube.com/TBB challenge box. Okay, that is a non-team specific cross-line created from the field YouTube site. Myself, Jimmy Nelson. Jimmy and I don't make money directly for each other. We're friends. Rochelle Griffin, who's an 8, yes. It's TBB, like Team Beachbody, challenge box, like challenge in a box, okay? And there you're going to find, there's a video there. There's actually several videos there. But the one video is Rochelle Griffin, and she's training on our challenge group system. Okay? You're welcome to look at that. You're welcome to adopt it. You're welcome to point your people there to learn. If you want to run the groups that way, the way that our team runs it, you're welcome to use that. It doesn't lead anybody to me or Rochelle or Jimmy. That's one of the reasons why we use cross-line leaders. We did this for the network. You guys understand that? To alleviate, oh Lord, because seriously, if we wait for corporate to come out with every tool we need, they've got their job. We've got our job. Our job is to give you the tools to go run these freaking groups and work with people, right? Okay, so you go there, and there's an 8-minute training video of Rochelle Griffin, who is absolutely amazing. She's an A-star diamond coach. Earns like a mid-6-figure income doing this, and is sincerely awesome woman that I've become very great friends with in this business, okay? And has helped a tremendous amount of people. But she understands systems, so I had her do the YouTube video. See, it doesn't have to be me. I'm like, hey, Rochelle, you want to do this video? Explain it to people? So she did that for you, so that you and your people can go and watch it and learn, okay? Where am I? So, sorry, I got off the emotion. See, when I get onto systems, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. When I get onto systems, I get nervous because I'm not a systems guy, right? So I get like whacked out. That isn't me who I am. That's me who I've had to become so I can help more people. You guys understand that? Because me just trying to be me wasn't getting the job done with everybody else. I was getting in my own way, just trying to be me, okay? So here's the thing. Challenge groups once a month, okay? But then the question is this, okay, we know we're creating a challenge group once a month. How do we start inviting people? That's the next one. What do I say to people, right? I mean, how many people in here are like, okay, what do I even say to people? And so right? David Rice, who's on my team. So what happens is, because we don't know what to say, we start talking about what we do know about, which is the products. Right? And we start talking about P90X, we start talking about Shakeology, how much we love it, how great the company is, and we start, and we start vomiting all of this product enthusiasm over everybody. Then we wonder why they scatter and run away, right? Okay, because we have the right intention but the wrong method. We're talking about the wrong thing. What we need to talk about is you when I'm talking to you, right? I need to talk about you. I need to find out who you are, what you need, what's your struggles, okay? We're going to show you how to do that with the 5 steps. So the 5 steps, is there anybody that needs a copy of this 5 steps? The 5 steps is a script. You can use it as a copy and paste and personalized script that you use through Facebook and send emails with. Okay, but it's more than that. It's actually an order of communication. It's an order of, when I start talking to people, this is the process I need to take them through in order to get the result of them making a final choice one way or the other. Not based on me and the product crap that I shoved down their mouth, but based on what we discovered throughout that process. Everybody follow that? Okay? And so, the first step of that process is invite, right? It's invite. You got to have your list, and then you invite people. So this is if you're going to them first. You engage people. It can be done through an email. Hey, right? The first step is here's the thing. Most people want to send a message. I get people all the time that reach out to me to ask me questions. Okay? And if they did it with a step one, the way it should be done, if they just simply came to me and said, hey, Tommy, I know you're a busy guy, and I know that you get a lot of messages. But if you had just a couple minutes to answer one or two simple questions, I'd be very grateful. Is that something you could do? I've had people approach me that way, people I don't even know, that send me that Facebook message, and I get on the phone with them for an hour. Right? But then I have some people that come to me, same intention, wanting the same result. They come to me and they say, Tommy, I have 17 questions. Right? And all I do is I open up an email and it's like this long, and I go, oh, hell no. Delete. I don't even read it. Why? Because I'm a busy guy. I got too much on my plate. I've got time to read someone's stuff I don't even know that's coming at me with all this stuff and all these facts and all this need. Right? You got to think like the person receiving it. What do they want? They want simple, quick, concise. Your first message needs to be simple, quick, concise. That's what step one is. Right? It's why Twitter works. And I'm not a Twitter guy, but it forces us to shut up. We say way too much, way too fast, which drives people way too far away. So if you can learn to just step one, people, which is simply just add, hey, something something quick, something simple, right? That's what gets people to react. That's what gets people to respond. Because they got all kinds of, how much stuff do you get that comes through your phone? Emails and Facebook messages and text messages and all this stuff. Listen, I keep my voicemail box full. I can't tell you how many people call me, and then I get a text message, your voicemail is full. Yeah, no crap. I don't have an hour and a half a day to listen to voicemail. So I keep it full so that you don't leave your 5-minute message. I know you're trying to get a hold of me. I see your name. That's all I need. Right? Think about what gets you to respond and what doesn't. How many times you get a 5-minute message and you get like 40 seconds and you're like, she never shuts up, right? And you click and you don't listen to it. I'm telling you, I got an aunt. Every time she leaves me a message, it's like 15 minutes long, and I love her to death, but that's disrespecting my time. So when we approach people, we can't disrespect their time by sending them too much too fast before they're ready. Right? You got to put it out there, invite them. That's the first part. Simple, fast. You could copy paste and personalize step one. Okay? Okay, and then we go into step two. Step two, listen, this is by far where we screw up. If our job is to be good at the people, our job is to diagnose what they need, what they struggle with, and what solutions we can offer them for their reasons, for their life, for their needs. Through what we have to offer. Does that make sense? Some people's issue is time. Some people's issue is money. Some people's issue is fear. Well, I'm afraid that I can't do the P90X. Oh, that's okay. We got some beginner programs. That's what people who are afraid of P90X actually start with something like Power 90 or, Turbo. Yeah, I've got plenty of people who start with things like that. So let me ask you, why do you feel afraid of something like P90X? What's holding you back from that? And then you start digging them out, right? See, here's what happens. We ask one question, we say, so yeah, would you like to know more about that? And they say yes, and we say, okay, why? So we take step two. We ask them one question, and they give us an on-the-surface reason. Right? And they say, well, yeah, I'd like to lose 20 pounds. Right? And so we're just excited. They went, oh yeah, great. So we got your solution to lose 20 pounds, but what we haven't done is we haven't served them by asking them more questions and getting them to reflect deeper. So in step two, I want to give you a tip. It's called stay on step two. Stay on step two. It means simply asking more questions to diagnose deeper. We have to learn to come from a place of service, and we can't serve them if we don't know what's wrong. If my car is all jacked up, and I take it to the body shop, and the engine's messed up, right? And I take it to the mechanic, and he just assumes that it's one thing. He only looks at the surface problems and he only fixes that, but he didn't get to the deeper problems of what that created. Then my car is going to get messed up again, right? Well, That's our job. Our job is just ask some questions to get them to look a little bit deeper into themselves. There's a lot bigger difference between someone saying, I'd like to lose 20 pounds, and someone saying, I feel like a lazy mom, like I'm a bad example to my children because I've been struggling to lose this last 20 pounds, and now I wear size 12s, and I can't stand it. And so I've been depressed about it. It's a lot bigger, it's a bigger difference, isn't it? Okay, so that can be done simply by asking a question. I understand some people make decisions based on emotion, based on feeling. How does it make them feel? So let me ask you something. How would losing that 20 pounds make you feel? Right? How long have you been thinking about losing that 20 pounds? These are additional questions that you can ask. Right? Okay? And then, so step 3 is questions. Getting good at asking questions and diagnosing before you prescribe. Okay? You can do that simply by cutting and pasting this message. Okay? You might start out cutting and pasting, but eventually I'm going to tell you need to learn this method verbally. I use these 5 steps in everything that I do. So when I sponsor a coach, I go through the 5 steps. I'm going to sit down, we're going to talk, you know, like let's say that I sponsored Tanya, right? I'm going to sit down with her and I'm going to start asking her. I've invited her to become a coach. She's accepted. I'm going to start step 2ing her and asking and digging out her why. Understand this, the deeper that someone's why is, the more likely they are to overcome their excuses and take the action. The deeper somebody's why is, right? The deeper somebody's why is, the more likely they are to stick with it when the time comes. The deeper your why is with whatever it is you want to achieve, if it's weight loss, okay, the thing is this, if you haven't yet achieved it, it's because your excuses are bigger than your why. That's the truth. Until I had a reason why my brother-in-law is dying and I failed my sister who I've made a promise to for 20 years, until that why was in my face, my excuses were bigger than my why. It was when that moment happened that I went, oh crap, I better do something. And I started doing it, right? Here's the thing. Everything you do duplicates. So if you stay on the surface with yourself, with your own why and your own actions, then you can only lead people to that same level of their why. So if you're not very good at helping other people dig out their why, then you probably need to get a little bit better at digging out your own. Asking yourself, why am I struggling? What do I need? Why do I want that? What is important to me? Why is that important to me? How would that make me feel? Why am I hesitating? Everybody follow that. Okay? So questions. The third thing is connect. Become a connector. Connect. Okay, so becoming a connector. Too many times we're trying to be the hero when we need to let other things be the hero. We need to let a video of the doctors explain the Shakeology rather than us. We need to connect them to another leader. We need to connect them to a video that explains. We need to connect them, right? In fact, don't try to be the hero on the 5 steps. Connect them to the live training from Dallas that is on that same YouTube channel. And let those videos go through this with them, right? So that you don't try to explain it. What duplicates faster? You explaining all of this stuff that is spewing out of my mouth, or you saying, go to YouTube, click play on those 3 videos, and you'll learn everything that Tommy taught. Right? What duplicates the fastest? The video. The document. Alright, so, and listen, I know this isn't the most exciting, enthusiastic stuff, but this is important stuff, because if you can master this stuff, you're going to help all of those people, seriously, that you seriously want to help. You're going to be amazed. I had Deb Mahan is one of my coaches, and she goes, I can't believe, I've been just talking about products for so long. And all of a sudden I stopped and I started asking questions of people's reasons. I would get these paragraphs back about their life and everything they struggle with. And now I truly can serve them. I learned so much more about these people. And this is a relationship business. If you stop, ask questions, shut up, listen, before you direct, have you built a deeper relationship with that person? A deeper friendship with that person, a deeper value with that person. If all you do, seriously, with this, is learn to ask questions. Whenever you want to talk about a product, shut up and ask a question. Whenever you want to talk about, you know, the maca root and how it increases libido, that's one of my favorite topics. Okay? That's a simple rule. Ask a question or share a story. Or share a story, okay? And then you connect them to the story when it's time. So in this case, if we're recruiting to challenge groups, then I'm going to use a video about challenge groups. Everybody understand that? So in the script, it's Carl's, but listen, here's a hint. Use the YouTube video. Why? Because where do people watch the videos? On what? Their phones, right? And the flash videos from the back office don't necessarily play on a phone, but the YouTube videos will. So use the YouTube link, right? That's the link that I use, all right? So connect. The fourth thing is details and closing. All right, details and close. All right, so here's the thing. When we try to give all the details in step one, that's where the majority of us screw it up, because we go out there and we give all the details in step one before we even know their why, and all of a sudden now they're not joining because we just gave it all up front. And we gave them a bunch of information they didn't know. In fact, they probably didn't even read it because they didn't have time because it was too long. Does that make sense? Okay? So, details and closing. Now, when you close, it's 2 clear options. Again, limit the options. 2 clear choices. At the bottom of step 4, if all you do is you get to the point where someone wants to enroll, right? Then it's our job to give them 2 clear options on how they enroll. So if you're always inviting to challenge groups, okay, it's very clear at the bottom. We've given 2 very clear options. What are those options? Is this. Option 1, okay, we enroll our challengers on challenge packs. You can enroll 1 either as a coach on a coach account who saves money and earns money for referrals, 3 or 4 referrals, and you've made enough to cover your costs. What do the majority of people want? To break even, to cover their cost. All of a sudden they're going, oh man, if I refer 3 or 4 people, I can get this for free, right? So option 1, on a coach account where you can both save and make money, earn money for referrals, what we call referral income. Is that what we get paid for, referrals? That really is what we get paid for, referring people to the company. Not for delivering the products. I mean, when you look at it as a business, we get paid to refer the product. How much? And you don't have to be an expert at the products to refer them. You don't have to be the chef to refer a restaurant. Do you? You don't have to be the producer to know that you like the movie enough to refer somebody to go watch it. Right? Just like you don't have to be an expert on nutrition to refer somebody to Shakeology. All you know is I drink it and the stuff's great and there's a lot of people who love it. And I poop once a day, so it's great. Okay? Right? Hey, man, dude, P90X gets you ripped, Shakeology gets you regular. That's what we do at Beachbody, ripped and regular, man. It's all good. Double R, double R. Come on now. Okay? I heard that. So listen, so here's the 2 options. Let's be very clear. This is the wording. Now, this is shifted from the original 5 steps. So if you were using the original 5 steps, this is something that we field tested with another group of coaches. We took 15 coaches and we field tested this and we all worked together on it. And so now it says this is how we close. Okay, you have 2 ways to enroll. Either on a coach account where you can save and earn money for referrals, or as a challenge customer where you pay retail and waive your right to saving and making money. Yes, Lindsay? No, listen, but here's the thing. Because here's the thing, here's the other thing that's not written in the script. And many of them will choose to be a customer. What we have to understand from a business perspective, okay, from a business perspective now, okay, their value isn't the $30 you make. Their value is their list of 1,000 people they know that you don't. Right? If you can get really good at just getting people to make a list of 10 or 20 and inviting people and referring people, and all of a sudden they get a check for a couple $100 because they did that, and they go, whoa, that was easy. Right? It's like a magic trick. Just make your list. You help them get what they want. What they want is to break even. What you want is their list. Because in their list might be the next Lindsay. It might not be the person that you're talking to. In their list might be the next Tommy Mygrant. In their list of people might be the next Josh Spencer. Or the next Hillary Kelly. Or the next Tina Osborne. The majority of my largest producers in my organization aren't people that I sponsored directly. It was me getting the ability to get them to make a list, to go to someone, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 or 5 levels deep, there's somebody that I had no idea who they were that is now getting serious about this.
I just want to clarify something.
Yes.
If I have a friend who gives me the list of people, I don't know these people directly. You're saying they do the invites. I'm not inviting people I don't know.
I give them the 5 steps, right? So I'm going to go through how I sponsor people, okay? You know, if they're afraid to go to them, I say, well, great, let's just call your list of people. I'll go through the 5 steps. Yes, Tom?
All right, so this is a binary.
It's a binary plan, yes.
How does that work?
Right leg, left leg?
No, I understand. So is it 2/3 on one side, 1/3 on the other side?
Yeah, if you're going to max out the income opportunity, it's 2/3, 1/3 is what you would want. You would want like, so if you had 2,000 on one side, 1,000 on the other, then you would bonus the maximum amount of times. Yes.
Is there someplace on the website?
Yeah, there's a how to earn video. I can connect you to that. What I could do is get your information and make sure that I connect, right? I connect her to the video. I don't have to sit here and explain the comp plan. I'll just connect you to the information that you need so you can evaluate it for yourself and come to your own conclusions. Is that cool?
Can you just tell me again?
Yes.
When you made these changes, what results?
Our coach sponsorships for my team went up 250%. So if that was 10 a week, it went to 25. Right? It went to 25. And the result, so the result is that. So details are closed, and then the 5th step is actually enrollment. So here's the thing: if they choose to become a coach, then once they become a coach, I give them 2 very simple options. Again, we're just sorting people. Our job is to sort, not to sell. Our job is to put them in the category that they want to be in and give them what they want. Okay, so when I sort them into the category of coach account, they made that choice. But see, here's what happens. We go out and we talk to all these people, but because we fail to be very clear of the options, then they never enroll, or they never come in because we haven't been clear, right? And we've given them way too many. Their options are unlimited because they have no idea what they're doing. So we got to be very clear what their options are. And we can't be afraid. Is this off?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we can't be afraid to give them those 2 options. So the other 2 options are this. At the end of this is okay, you've decided to become a coach. Are you a coach? This is the 2 options. You want to write this down. It's not in this script. Okay? Are we good? Okay. Okay, great. You've decided to be a coach now. So I just want to make sure that we're clear about your 2 options when you decide to become a coach. So you've enrolled. Do you want to be a coach that just begins by saving money with the intention of referring people later down the road? Or would you like to go ahead and start referring people now so you can make your money back immediately? Okay, do you want to be a coach that saves the money now and starts referring people later down the road? Either way, they're not just a discount coach, right? Either way, the seed is planted. You're constantly just planting seeds. Even if they choose to be a customer, they know the option of coach is there. And if they decide to become a coach now, even if they have a discount, they know the option of referring is there. So that I could be a coach that saves the money now with the intent to refer down the road, at which point then, that's fine. I don't have to spend the time going through the GSR, right? And it doesn't have to get icky. I don't have to force them to do anything. I've sorted them into that category, and I say, great, I'm going to check with you halfway through the challenge group to see where you're at with the referring. Is that cool? Yes, great. Or would you like to start referring people immediately so that you can earn your money now? Right? 2 clear options. Great, you want to do that now? Here's how we do that. And then I do effective sponsorship. So listen, when I sponsor someone, this is the other part. And after this, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to have a couple of testimonials, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. And listen, I know, what time is it? Is it 4? It's 1/4 of. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Well, it's not. I just get talking. I gotta get. Where's my water? Okay, so effective sponsoring. Listen, what you do with the new person the first 30 days, what you get them focused on, and what you require them to do. Get really good at giving simple homework assignments. Simple homework, right? Okay? So, I don't want them focused on a lot of things. I want them to have very clear, simple direction. Okay, you got to understand when that new person signs up, they've already got a busy life. They're usually at their biggest apprehension, not even sure that they can do this at any level, let alone the level that you're doing it at. They can't be near as enthusiastically as you are. You weren't nearly as involved in this when you first signed up as you are now. True? Right? It was a process to get you in this room. It was a process to getting me up here. When I first signed up, you got to remember what it's like to be brand new. When I first signed up, I just didn't want an extra $100 on my credit card every month because I wasn't even sure it would go through. I was like, Home Direct, I don't want anything on Home Direct because I can't remember when I get paid and if the money's going to be there. Because I might have went to Frickers that week. Okay? So you got to remember what it's like to be new. So whatever you ask them to do has to be very clear, concise, and consistent, and it has to be something they can do fairly easily. Right? That doesn't take up and suck up their life. So here's the thing. I don't send people to the Coach Training Academy. In fact, I warn them that they're going to get an invite to go watch the Coach Training Academy because that's 40 hours of work before they make a dime. And all of a sudden they're watching that thing and they're like, oh my gosh, fit clubs and home parties and websites and all this stuff. And it seems very overwhelming. It's overwhelming to me, and I've been doing this for 4 years and I'm one of the top 25 producers. Right? Okay, so I just say, listen, that's a resource that we'll use along the way. When someone has a question on how to earn, I'll go direct them to the video that's in that, right? I'll pull that single video out and show them that tool and use it as a resource and plug what they need. Okay, but for right now, here's what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to sponsor you. So, Randy, stand up. I really don't know you, right? How you doing? I'm Tommy. It's nice to meet you. I'm glad that you've decided to become a coach. Okay, so Randy, you've decided to become a coach, and that. So here's what we do. This is how we do it, and I need you just to trust what we do, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do with Randy is go through step 2. I'm not going to do that right here, but I'm just going to start asking you why, so what made you decide to become a coach?
I really decided to.
Okay. Well, so let's say that you did. Let's just say that you did. Let's say that you made the choice. Let's just play the game. Is that cool? Okay. Because I love your hair, man. Clean. Do it yourself? Dude, save some money. I tried to do it myself, but I nicked it. See that? I screwed it up, man. I'm not very good with the clippers yet. I did. I screwed it up. I cut my chin the other day shaving. I'm a mess, man. Seriously. So let's say you decided that you wanted to become a coach, right? So let me just ask you, what made you decide to become a coach?
Make more money.
Okay. So so you want to make more money? You want to make a little bit of money or a lot of money?
A lot.
Right? I asked that question, a little or a lot. What do you want to make, a little or a lot? Okay. So what would be a lot of money to you? Okay, an extra $1,000 a week, right? So $4 grand a month, that's 50 grand a year, right? Okay, and we have plenty of people on our team that are making an extra $1,000 a week, so I'm pretty sure we can get there as long as you're willing to do the work and do it consistently. Okay, my job is to give you some clear direction. So what would that extra $1,000 a week do for you? I mean, what are you trying to do right now with it?
Get out of debt, take some vacations.
Right. Right? How many people want to get out of debt and take vacations, guys? And yeah, man. Listen, go rock this thing out. I went to France for free, and I'm going to Tahiti with Uncle Carl in like 2 months. Listen, traveling is great. Traveling when Uncle Carl's paying for it is really great. Okay? But that's the truth, right? All for helping people. But here's, so great. So I mean, have you not had the chance to travel very much?
I've traveled a lot.
Travel a lot? Okay. But you like to travel more? Well, okay, great. So here's the thing. In order for you to get to that point where you make $1,000 a week, okay, our team follows a very simple plan that anybody that is a top producer on our team is following. All right, so everybody that is making $1,000 a week, this is how they're doing it. Okay, so we're going to get you there as long as you do this and you do this consistently. So my first job as someone who sponsored you is to just get you on board with what it is that we do. Does that sound fair? Yeah. So he agreed. That sounds fair, right? But if you don't have that team plan and you don't have the team stories of the other people who are doing it and the success to bank that on, right? Then you're not gonna have the buy-in. Because everybody just does whatever they want and it's a big mess. You got 50 different languages being spoken in the same team. And nobody's talking the same way about the same stuff. So the important thing is that you make a clear direction, whether it's this plan or another plan. Right? So great. So here's what we're gonna do in order to get you started on that. There's a lot of stuff that can confuse you. You could go in the backwards. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different videos and stuff that really could confuse you, all right? So I want to keep this very clear and very, very simple for you, all right? So that you can get the best results, because that's probably what you want, right? Right. I can tell he's really, it's simple, it's clear, and dude, we'll get you making that $1,000 a week fast, as long as you do the work. So I don't know if you can keep up with the top producers on our team or not, but if you follow this and you do it to the best of your ability, I think you can. Okay? So what we need you to do is this. Okay, we build our business with challenge groups using what we call the 5-step process. Okay? So that's it. Challenge groups, 5-step process. Okay? I'm going to give you a copy of this 5-step process. What I want you to do is make your list of people that you think might want to be part of your challenge group. I'm going to give you one simple goal. The first goal for this month is to find at least 5 people that want to do your first challenge group. Okay? In fact, today is the 24th, the 25th. So what we're going to do with you is this. We're going to set your challenge group for March 12th. I set the date. Why do I do that? It gives him a deadline. Forces him to take action. I don't say, well, we'll start, just pick a date. No. You're in charge. You're the teacher. You're the parent. You pick the date, and you set the expectation for them. So your date is March 12th. So we're going to start your first challenge group for March 12th, which means we have until March 5th, which is about 10 days, to find those 5 people. You think you can find 5 people in the next 10 days? Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's really it. We're going to find 5 people to do your challenge group. We're going to do that by we're going to invite them using this 5-step process. Okay, I'm not going to train you on everything with the 5-step process. There's actually a video. So your first job is this, to make that list of people. Your second job is to go to youtube.com/TVBChallengeBox and watch the 3 training videos. There's a guy there named Tommy. Okay? Really good looking guy. With a great smile. Looks good in silver underwear. You're going to love him. But there's a training there where he's the guy that created the 5-step process. There's a live training of him talking about the 5-step process on YouTube. I just want you to go it's less than an hour of time. So 1 hour of time for you to learn this 5-step process. You think you can do that? 1 hour of time. Can he do that? Is that something simple he can do? Yes. So here's what I want you to do. Once you watch that, I want you to come back to me and let me know. What am I going to, here's the thing, if he immediately comes back to me or the next day comes back and says, hey, I watched that, now what? I know that he's willing to do an hour of work. Now I'm going to give him a little more, right? Okay, if he's unwilling, if I follow up with him 2 days later and I say, did you watch those videos? He says, no, I didn't get a chance. I'm not going to waste all my time on this guy. Does that make sense? Okay, so I give him a homework assignment. It's actually for 2 reasons. 1, because that duplicates. He can show someone else how to watch that video. 2, I'm testing him to see if he's willing to put an hour of work in. 1 hour. And willing to trust me in the direction I'm sending it. So it's a trust thing. It's a relationship thing, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 very simple goals. The first one is to find 5 people for the challenge group. The second one is to find 2 of them to be a coach. The 5-step process is going to help you find those 2 coaches. Would you agree that the way that we word it will help you do that? So if we can find 5 people for your challenge group, you're immediately going to be making back your more than the $205 it costs you to do this. Okay, you're going to be making somewhere around a few $100s. If we can find 2 of them to become a coach, then you would quickly and fastly reach the rank of Emerald, which is the first step. I don't want you to think about anything else, any of the other steps. I just want you to think about this first 30 days. Because if you can do that this first 30 days, guess what I'm going to have you do next month? The very same thing. I'm going to tell you to start your next group of 5 people. Okay? So do you think that's something you can do? Great. Okay? Welcome aboard. So make your list. Here's the 5 steps. Now, here's the other thing. We have a whole team of people that are professionally trained on how to use these 5 steps and build challenge groups. And there's no way that I can be available to you 24/7. Okay? But I have a whole team of people that are top producers that are trained, that all do the same thing in the same way, and any of them can help you succeed. So if you run into an obstacle, if you run into a question and you're uncertain, the first place I want you to go is to the team page called the Swarm Cave. I'm going to add you to that because they can be there for you way faster than I can because I can't be there 24/7, okay? So that's our team. You're going to be part of that team. I want you to check with them, and then you also have access to me. So those are your 2 resources. You think you can do that? right? Simple resource, you gotta show them where to go, right? Show them where to go. Go to the team page is a resource when you have questions. I'm gonna tell you right now, the team, if your whole team is speaking a different language and doing a different thing, how valuable is your team page? It stinks. I wouldn't send anybody there because nobody's giving the same advice. On our team page, do people give the same advice? Keith? Okay, now listen, listen, Tina, come here, Keith, come here. Elaine, come here, stand up. But listen, this is how I've taught my team to sponsor. Okay, and this is what I'm seeing. Listen, I saw on my team a year ago a plateau for 6 months. We didn't grow. Nobody was, paychecks weren't going up, volume wasn't going up, and all of a sudden we made this switch to challenge groups and this, and things have doubled in 4 months. That's all I know. All I know is this: we went from 10 diamond coaches to 40. Right? All I know is this: I'm not the only person excited now. All right, and these people are excited, right? So here's what I want you to understand. Tina is a mom of how many kids? Hold on. I just want you to share your story and let them know how long you've been a coach and what's happened. She starts.
I've been a coach since October of this year, 2011. I have 5 kids, ages 2 to 20. I have 1 grandchild. I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I work full-time. Days now, was until recently working night shift. And I became enrolled within a couple weeks, started using the 5-step process, and have made Success Club 10 every month since November, December, January, February. I'm at 20 points now and 7 coaches as of today for February.
Just for the month.
And I made diamond this week.
Hey, I don't know about that. All I know is Tina's a mom of 5, works 12-hour shifts, she used this process to sponsor 7 people and score 20 points this month. Yeah. So if time is your excuse, get over it. Yes.
Right.
Oh, no, that's fine, because you guys, well, I got to speak to the average in the audience. So if you enroll somebody on a challenge pack, you get what we call 2 points, whether they're a coach or a customer. So there's a thing called Success Club. When you qualify for Success Club, okay, the company will give you free Shakeology customers and free leads. So Uncle Carl does all this advertising stuff. He brings people in. So anyone who produces and scores at least 5 points in a month with at least 1 point coming from a coach makes Success Club. So if you consistently build your groups and consistently make Success Club, then you're consistently not only reaping the benefit of the people you bring in, but also the people the company gives you.
So, like, what is an average earnings? Or you don't mind?
Let me say something. We have an average statement of earnings that are available in the back office. I'll be happy to connect you to that. Right?
I've already downloaded.
Okay. Yeah. So it obviously varies depending on rank and depending on your skill and knowledge and your ability to do that. So what I can do is connect you to what the average earnings are.
Who's their diamond coach? Who's their upline coach?
I think they're guests. Are you guys guests? They're guests.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's why they're asking those, which are fairly legit questions, right? I mean, you need to know that stuff. And those are all things that are taught to, as far as in my organization, those are all very clear goals for people. So like we have a document in our team page where when Tina sponsors someone and scores points, okay, she goes and she updates that. So if she wants recognition, if she wants to be on that, then she puts her name and where she's at, and then it's clearly defined who's producing and who's not, right? So, but Success Club is our measurement of monthly success, and it's determined by points. So Tina is 4 months in. She's already a diamond coach. She's already earning money. She sponsored 7 people just this month, working 12 hours and raising 5 kids, using the 5 steps. Keith, my man, I've been working with him for a while.
Yeah, a long time. I guess I'll start from the beginning. I started my transformation in March of 2010. Soon after that, I met Tommy for the first time. Went to talk back and forth a lot. Finally convinced me to do the coaching thing. Did it for a while, didn't have any success, wasn't really trying, didn't commit to it. Actually ended up quitting because it just didn't seem like the right time. I had a bunch of bills I had to pay, and, so I thought Beachbody was the one I needed to cut. took me about 2 months to realize that that was the last thing I needed to cut, and I jumped back on board. Still wasn't necessarily ready to commit 100% to the business side of things. I was in a challenge with Tommy and a few others back in July and August. Kind of got a spark under me, started really getting me involved, and I thought that was it. Still really wasn't. I did it for those 2 months, maybe a month after, and then again just kind of fell off. That's kind of when we started to see the 5-step invite processes, is towards the end of the year. Since January 1st, or well, I should say before January 1st, I had 4 coaches. 2 were active and they're discount coaches. The other 2 were inactive. Since January 1st, 2 of them became active again because I went back, apologized, kind of re-engaged them. I've been processed by Tommy so many times I can't even count it. So I went back, apologized, got him going again. Since January 1st, I've made Success Club January and February, first consecutive months. I've signed up. I signed up 3 coaches just this month alone, and they're all in the process and working to become Emerald, and start to see my volume increase, but also be more consistent. So I'm starting to see some definite improvements, and I'm actually getting better at helping people, informing them and asking them what they want to change and why they want to change it. And that's been a huge factor in everything. I've learned that I need to shut up, and I talk too much, and I'm probably doing it right now. But that's what happened. I took a step back. Finally listened to Tommy screaming at me, stop talking so much, and I did it. And now I'm actually helping people do the right things.
Which is awesome, man. So, yeah, man. No, and Keith is gonna be my next diamond. So he'll be like number 17. So, right? Which is awesome because the guy went from struggling for a year, right? So now he had 4 people in a year. He had started, had quit, had come back, had struggled, didn't have any clue, right? It was people like Keith that made me get out of my way and come up with something like this. Because it was like, right? All I know is this, dude, it started helping the people that were frustrated. It started helping the people that didn't know what they're doing. It started helping the people who didn't have a plan and wanted to help people but didn't know how, right? And so don't do what works for me, do what works for everybody. Okay, so yeah.
I just want to say, we have a great team, and some people jump in the team page on Facebook and they skyrocket from day one, and it's a quick journey for them, and it seems like they can't go wrong, and they get to diamond in 30, 60 days. I just want to let you know that don't get discouraged, because some people, everybody's on their own journey, and if you really want to get there, believe in yourself, do it, and you can get there.
So Lane, she just signed up 5 weeks ago, so she just went through this whole sponsoring process.
Hello, everybody. My name is Elaine. I am a mother of a 2-year-old beautiful little girl. I work with Tina. I am as well a labor and delivery nurse. Work 12-hour shifts as well. She invited me to a challenge group. We started December 1st. I have since lost 35 pounds as of this morning. She did a great job of just plugging me in and getting me led through that the 5-step process, and of course, led by Tommy. So Tommy taught Tina, Tina taught me. I dug in. I've got my own challenge group going now. I've got 11 people in it. They're doing fabulous. They just hit their first 30-day challenge, or the first 30-day mark, and they're having great results with it. I have made Success Club 10 this month. I've signed up 2 coaches myself, and just getting great results just from doing these very simple things that he's teaching us today. So.
And 35 pounds lost, so thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. So, but guys, that's what happens on our team, right? So Elaine's 5 weeks in, already in Success Club 10, already enrolled several people, 11 people in her challenge group. Okay, I did not have to go through the sponsoring with her, because right? So Ashley's learned from me. Ashley's a diamond. She got to coach Melissa, that's a diamond, who sponsored Tina. Tina's a diamond. And now Elaine's going to be a diamond. So 5 levels deep, it's like a string of diamonds. And because they're all following the same plan, doing the same thing. You guys understand that? Okay? So thank you guys. Thank you so much. Seriously, because you're the reason why this exists. Okay? So listen, that's the 5-step process. All right? And I know it's not the most exciting stuff in the world, but listen, sometimes you got to do the stuff that isn't so exciting. Trust me. I would love to just party and dance all day. That's who I am. So listen, I know that it's late. It's after 4 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Where's Chris? Do we have time to just answer a couple questions if people have them? We answered a few along the way. Questions?
Can you sign up your customer leads once you make Emerald, or send them emails to invite them to challenge groups, and have you done that as a success?
Yeah, okay, what I do with leads, right? Because we get these free customers. You reach Emerald, you reach an Emerald status, you get free customers. You reach Success Club, you get customers, you get hot leads. What do you do with them? I put them right into the 5-step process, invite them to my challenge group. Go right into step 2 with them. That's what I do with them. So yes, I treat them as I would treat anybody else. I use the same process on everybody, filtering them all into challenge group, ending with the 2 choices, coach or customer, referral or not.
You have better success with emails or phone calls?
Listen, okay, you got to understand how people react. People respond more to voice than they do to writing. So, can you get a result with writing and emailing and Facebooking? Yes. Is it going to be a less successful result? Yes. Once you learn to master this and do this verbally with people, you'll go from 2 and 10 to 4 and 10. Okay, or you get someone like me, I might go 7 out of 10. So I don't have to recruit all month. I recruit like 3 days a month, and I've got like 16 points right now for the month. Okay, so, and I just do that consistently.
When you get coach leads from the company, and they ask you for further information in the form of an email, do you have something good that you can refer me to?
Okay, wait, well, I get what do you mean a coach
When
lead?
you get coach leads from the company, they actually send you, when you're Success Club, they send you...
The hot leads?
Yeah, the customers that say, hey, I'm pretty interested in being a coach, and you've already talked to them about being a coach, but then they want a follow-up email. Is there something really good that you have?
So listen though, if everything that we're inviting to is the challenge, right?
Yeah.
So in the challenge video with Carl explains how you can make money referring people to the challenge. But I say, listen, yeah, absolutely, I understand that you have a need. So I will go into step 2 with them and say, great, so why do you want more information? Right? What makes you want more information? What about the coaching intrigues you enough to want more information? And I do step 2 with them, and then I connect them to the same video I connect everybody else to, which is Carl's video. That's all. Same process, same funneling system. Keep us, right? Don't master everything, get really good at something. And teach other people, right? Does that make sense? Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Yes.
Right, when you're running challenge groups, I know a lot of different coaches have a lot of different ways of how they run challenge groups. Some do a challenge, some do 30 days, some do a program. When you talk about your challenge groups, how do you define that? When you say, yes, come join a challenge group, do you just put them in a generic challenge group, or you say, hey, come do, we're doing a training, we're doing in this group, we're doing in that group? How do you, what's your process?
That process is defined in the 8-minute training video at youtube.com/TBV challenge box, okay? So seriously, you go there and it'll tell you exactly what I do. It's not me doing the training, it's Rochelle Griffin. Here's why we did it with Jimmy and Rochelle, so that it wasn't me all over the place. It doesn't have to be about me. It's about the tools and it's about the system, right? So what I do is this. I don't do it by product, and I do it a 90-day challenge group, and I bring 5 people in every month, the first Monday of the month. And I graduate them at the end, and at the end, they graduate and they go into a general customer page. But that's all described in that video, and it's pretty clear. So what I would do is watch that. If you still have questions, feel free to Facebook me after you watch that, okay?
My question is, if you get through step 4, and the person's like, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it, you say, okay, 160 to 205.
Yes.
That's your choice. And they go, oh, I don't need money.
Okay, so they give you the money objection, right? So this is the other thing, and I didn't get to this today, is objection handling. We get frozen by objections, don't we, right? Listen, objections are part of the deal. Nobody's going to avoid objections. In fact, but when you get good at handling objections, you actually laugh at them because you're like, yeah, bring it, right? I know what I'm doing. I have a skill now. You can learn the art of objection handling. There's nowhere that I have learned the art of objection handling better than our team trainer that we outsource our training to. Her name, she's not part of the network, her name is Dani Johnson, D-A-N-I, Johnson, J-O-H-N-O-N-S-O-N. So if you want to learn the art of objection handling, I would go and get her. She has an audio series called Prospecting and Closing to Millions that you can order, you can listen to. It's well worth the investment. So that's a skill that you can use. Okay, but I combat them. I also have a training call I do with my team, legacy team on objection handling. But I use, it's called I Don't Know, All I Know Is. You've heard me say, I don't know, all I know is Tina's a mother of 5. I'm not sitting here trying to convince you with anything other than stories. So I don't know about that. All I know is Tina's got 5 kids, works a 12-hour shift, and she got enough time to do this because she's following a simple plan and making it work. So either you can hold on to your own excuses and continue to live in mediocrity, or you can get on board with what we do and do like Tina, which is starting to work 5 to 10 hours a week towards her freedom. Which do you want? I don't know about that. All I know is I got this guy Seth who was 20 years old and a broke college kid. He didn't have any money either, right? And then he decided to just go ahead and enroll on a coach account and start referring his people and inviting them to the same challenge. And he found more than the 3 people that it took to make his money back. He made $400 in his first 2 weeks and actually doubled his money by doing this. So, now it's 2 simple options. Either we can figure out a way for you to find the money from someone you know, or find a way for you to make the money by referring people from your own list. Which do you prefer? No wasn't an option there. It was go find the money, make the money. Find the money. Do we have a solution for them? Right? Well, I don't know that I want to talk to my people. Okay, I totally understand that. I don't know about that. Seth didn't want to talk to his people either, which is why he made the list and then I called them with him. Now, if you master the 5 steps and you get confident with the 5 steps, can you offer to do that? Can you offer to help that person? Yeah. Which is probably why we enrolled 4 out of his 10 people. Because he didn't have to be the expert. He just simply let me do it for him. Show them how to do it. Show them a check for $300. Show them a result. Everybody understand that? So that's one way. I don't know. All I know is. There's a couple other ways that you can do it too. Anybody else? Guys, no hands. Listen, I thank you. I know it's been a long day. I thank you for sticking with us through this last hour and 45 minutes, all right? So, thank you very much.
Thanks again, Tommy, and thanks again for all of you guys coming out here to be with us. Thank you for the Philly group and Hampton Roads, and for sticking around past 4. There is going to be a workout if you guys want it, because the people that were going to lead it are still ready to do it. I mean, I know some of you guys got a long drive, so.
Thank you, Chris.
Bring it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And seriously, listen, we need to be thankful and grateful for the leadership in this area. Francis and you and everybody that's in this area for putting these events together. Okay, and you need to leverage their efforts, and they're joining together to do this for your benefit. And for the benefit of all the people that you know that they don't. So let's give them a hand for taking the time, organizing stuff. I know how that is. I do a lot of events in Ohio, and I want to thank you for stepping up in leadership and for being open to taking that role and responsibility. So thank you.